80 to 90% of the relationships, black women are leaving. You're leaving. You're home wrecking. You're breaking up the relationships. Men stay.
Why do you think women are leaving?
Because you've been sold a Disney fantasy that you should be happy, instead of understanding that you have duty, honor, respect, and you chose to be in a relationship, especially when you decided to make a baby with somebody. You need to stay for more than just yourself. French toast your happiness.
So I should settle?
No, you should. Are you a Christian?
I'm not.
Well, have you been married?
No, I haven't.
You plan on getting married?
I would like to.
What vows do you plan on taking?
I don't want to settle for nothing less.
What vows do you plan on taking?
I plan on...
For better, for worse, sickness and health, the rich and poor, till death do us part. Then he says shit about happiness.
So I'm supposed to be miserable?
No, you're supposed to be an adult.
Okay.
What's good, everybody? It's your boy Money Marco. R.I.P. to the Godfather himself, KS, man. R.I.P. to KS, man, the Godfather himself. A lot of women didn't like him. A lot of women didn't like KS, and they was happy when he died, which is messed up. Because if you really look at his content, what he was doing was making sure that the black family would stay intact. He wasn't just holding women accountable. He was holding men and women accountable to make sure that we was the best versions of ourselves in order to make each other happy within inside the home. If a woman was single, he was showing her the red flags that she may exude. You know what I'm saying? The red flags she may exhibit in her whole, the way she has been brought up, the way society tells women how to be. You know, her mother, her aunties told her how she should be. KS was the one that sat there and put the mirror up to them to let them know and let them see their flaws within their whole way of reasoning, the whole way they looked at life and relationships. He put a mirror up to them to let them know that you're delusional. What you're thinking is nonsensical and it's just downright selfish and egotistical. Even for the men. If a man wasn't on the right level and wasn't thinking on the right level, right mind state, he would call him out for that and say, hey, yo, you need to be thinking bigger. You need to be working harder. You need to be focusing on your goals to become what he used to call them? High value man. And a lot of these women, they just was delusional, thinking that they could just automatically receive a high value man without them doing the eternal work like we talked about in the last video. Right? So RIP to KS, man. That's not what the subject's about today. Today's subject is going to be about, do women value marriage like men do? That's today's question. Do women value marriage like men do? From what we see in 2026, if you look at the stats, all the stats say that women are leaving marriages and initiate the divorces by 75%. I actually think it's higher than that. It's crazy. I'm newly divorced. I just had a divorce. We was married for about 12 years, right? She initiated divorce. She left me, right? And then you look out in social media land and you look out in the world, and this is a common thing. This is a common thing. It didn't just happen to me. It's happening all over the United States of America. Women are just leaving the family, just breaking up the homes. Excuse me, breaking up the homes, not thinking about how it's going to affect the kids, not thinking about nothing but themselves, really. Themselves and their happiness. That's what they always say. If you look at these women who leave the marriages, the common thing that they say is, I wasn't happy. That's the number one thing. I wasn't happy in the marriage, right? So you see, when it's on paper, it says irreconcilable differences, right? But the differences only comes from one side. It only comes from the woman's side because she's the only one who wants to end the marriage. The man, he could be unhappy, but he still stays though. He doesn't want to break up the home because he knows the value of the marriage and he knows how it will affect the kids. So because of that, a man would stay in the home and stay in an unhappy marriage. On top of that, he would try to do everything he can to make sure the marriage does turn happy, right? But sometimes it's hard for him to do that in the situations that he's in because he's dealing with a woman who's not willing to change. So if she's not willing to change, then how are you going to change the dynamics and how are you going to change the situation of the relationship if she's not willing to change or take accountability for her actions? So, you don't believe me? You know I always got clips, man. You know I always got clips. So roll the first clip.
As much as women try to look into men, because men will give up their happiness to have a home. A woman will give up her home to have her happiness.
Mm-hmm.
That's a true statement.
Yeah.
Because anytime you ask a man, how you doing? I'm all right. That man ain't all right. That man hate being at home. There was a viral video where this woman, she knocked on a dude's car window and he was like, man, I'm resting. He had been outside. He pulled up from the job. He been in his car with the seat leaned back for about an hour. You see?
Yeah, yes. What are you doing? She comes, what are you doing out here? What are you doing? This is why I'm out here.
Exactly what
he
he
said.
He
don't want to go home. He
don't even want to go home. I have been in that same relationship. I have lied to my girl because I already know she on 10. She want to argue. There's nothing to even argue about. She want to argue. Mind you, like I said, I'm out here. I got vests on. I'm in the hot sun. I'm running around with artists. I'm on planes. I'm on boats. I'm up and down stairs. I'm in the mall. I'm pushing people. It's 12 hours. I'm beat down. I want to come home. I don't want to have to handle a woman. The fuck am I handling you for? When a woman says, I want a man who can handle me, it ain't gonna be me because I don't want to handle my woman.
No, I'm honestly, your wife or girlfriend or whatever should be like, it should be your peace of mind. It
should be your peace of mind.
It should absolutely be, everything she should be doing should be to make my life as easy and peaceful as possible. Because for my wife, like that's everything I do is to make her, financially, sound so she feels comfortable, so she has everything she wants. Like that's my whole goal. That's my number one goal.
Every man's goal is that, but not every woman is receptacle to understand that. Because I'm telling her, oh, we going to after hours. After that, they want to go out to eat. After they want to go to eat, I got to take them to the airport. I'm lying. You know what I'm at? I'm in a hotel room, taking a shower, decompressing. I don't even want to go home, bro.
See what I mean? See what I mean? This goes back to the last video I posted. Or was it the first video? It was one of those videos where I was talking about women don't really understand what men got to deal with when we go to work. Most women have easy jobs to where they're either in an office space in front of a computer or they're at home in front of a computer. Easy. Men, we got to go out. We got to lift. We got to pull, we gotta dodge, we gotta do all types of stuff. We gotta deal with unruly people, we gotta deal with rude people, we gotta deal with people on the job we might beef with, we gotta deal with bosses who don't like us and trying to fire us every minute. Women don't even know what men have to deal with on a daily basis at the 9 to 5. Men, we always have the tough jobs, physical jobs, to where we come home, we tired. We've been on our feet all day. We've been lifting, pulling, walking around, running around all day. Some of our jobs be dangerous. Our life be on the line. But then we got to come home. We battling all day at work, but then got to come home and battle with our woman. And yes, ladies, we understand that it's not easy for you to deal with the kids and everything and deal with the house chores and this, that, and the third. We don't mind helping y'all with that. But like I said in the last video, it's ways of going about doing that. You got to be understanding to what he's going through. A lot of y'all don't even think about what he's going through and y'all not understanding, right? To the point to where he just came home from a long shift at work. He's tired. He's probably mad at something that happened at work. He's not going to tell you like you tell it. Women come home and be like, guess what happened at work? Da, 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 tell you all about it. Men, we come home, we don't even tell you nothing about what happened to us at work. All we want is, just like they said in the video, is our peace when we come home. That's all we want is peace. But instead, we come home to nagging, like I said, disrespect, all that stuff. Right? And then with every action comes a reaction. So then it snowballs into something worse, turns into an argument, or you may get mad because he don't feel like doing it right now. Or he might say, hold on. Like they even get mad if you tell them to hold on and wait. Give me a chance to walk in the door. Give me a chance to decompress. They get mad when you tell them to wait. They want you to do it then and now, right then and now. Right? You know, it is what it is, man. But where was I going with it? I was going somewhere with this. Hold on. Grape juice. So, even when men have to go through that, right? Even when they got to go through that, they still stay. We still stay. We would still stay dealing with that every day. We would still stay. Like the dude said, he was finding ways to decompose in a hotel, whatever. Like I said in my first video, men would take their time coming home when they got to deal with that. But guess what? They would still stay in a relationship. They would still stay in a marriage, even when they got to deal with that. You know? Because we understand once we make that covenant under God, it's supposed to be to death do us part. Right? We understand commitment. A marriage isn't just a covenant. It is a covenant. Number one, first thing, it's a covenant. But number two, it's a commitment. So once you make that covenant, your job is to be committed to that covenant that you made, ladies. And I'm talking to the ones who's always so quick to break up a home and break up a marriage, right? No matter what you're going through with your husband. If he has issues that he's dealing with you, y'all need to work that out. You don't just leave. You work it out. It's called communication. You communicate with each other. Y'all sit down and talk about it. Like if you have an issue with him, ladies, right? You sit down and talk to him about the issue. Say, hey, look, you know, because a lot of times it be the men with the issues too. So it's not just one way talking about the lady is just a problem. Sometimes men have problems, whether it be the man doesn't trust the lady, you know, y'all call it insecure, but insecure, we're going to talk about insecure and all that. I got a video about insecurity and all that. I got that coming up, you know, but whether he don't trust you, whether he got a gambling problem, drinking problem, he may be a cheater or something, you know, he might cheat, you know, which I would say cheating is the deal breaker in a marriage. whether it be the man or the woman. In my opinion, according to what the Bible says, cheating is a deal breaker in a marriage. Because once you cheat, you break that covenant that God made, that you made under God. You break that covenant once you cheat. So I think if a man or woman cheats, that's a deal breaker. But a lot of women are dealing with cheating men within their marriage. But that doesn't take you off the hook, neither, women, because a lot of y'all cheat too. Y'all cheat just as much, if not more, than men cheat. Don't think we don't know that. We know women cheat. If not, y'all probably cheat more than men. For real, for real. We're going to talk about that too. We're going to have a show about that too. Right? But, you know, you talk to him about it. You talk to him about the situation. You talk to him about what you're upset about. And then he got to talk to you what he's upset about. And you got to be able to handle what he has to say. You know? It's called communication. When men have a problem with what you're doing and your actions, he should be able to come to you and tell you, like, hey, look, I don't like how you said, I don't like how you did this, I don't like how you did that. You know, you being disrespectful. I don't like how you being disrespectful, or whatever the case may be. And when he does call you out for whatever he don't like, it's not your turn to throw something back at him, which most of y'all do. And that's why the problem never gets solved, because when he comes to talk to you about what he don't like, instead of you listening to him, you throwing something back at him that he did. And then when that happens, you're flipping the tables back on him, and now he's defending what he did. And now you don't have to take accountability for what you did, because it's now on him now. And now he's the one taking accountability. And you never take accountability, therefore you never change within that marriage. Right? And nobody's perfect. That's one thing you need to understand. Nobody is perfect. So, you know, a lot of these women are leaving men because he's not perfect. Which you thought the man's going to be perfect? So you leave him because he's not perfect. But guess what, ladies? He's the closest thing to what you're going to get when it comes to someone being perfect. He's the closest thing to perfect you're going to get after you leave. You're going to regret leaving, because you're going to see that the man that you left was the closest thing to the perfect man. You know why that is? You're going to compare every man to him, good and bad. And you're going to realize that he was the closest thing to perfect. Especially in 2026, what we got out here. Even for us, even for the men, bro. Like I'm newly single out here, man, and I've been out on these streets, and it's a lot of goofies out here. It's a lot of goofy women out here, bro. I've been running into nothing but goofies, you know? And I blame social media. And I blame these talks. I blame the music. If a chick you run into listens to Sexy Red or freaking Glorilla or one of these female rappers, if they listen to them, that's a red flag. When I see a nose ring or a septic tank, what's it called? Septic ring or whatever, where they got the bull ring. If I see that, that's a red flag. A joint tried to talk to me today when I went to the store today. She had, one of them septic rings on a nose. Tried to talk to me today. Like, she was going hard, bro. She was really aggressive. Let a man do that. It's sexual harassment. I'm trying to walk out the door. She grabbing me, grabbing my arm, pulling me back in the door. I'm like, hey, yo, like, I snatched I'm like, what you doing? Like, yo, you being real aggressive right now. Like, what you want? No, like, you're not even my type. Like, leave me alone type thing. You know what I mean? I didn't say it like that, but you know, I was very nice about it. I was very gentleman like, but at the same time, don't be grabbing me. Like, what are you doing? That just shows, like, you know, it's crazy. It's crazy out here, man. It's crazy out here. But anyway, let's show the next clip.
I don't know if you're a believer, but I'm a believer. And I fully understand that God gives us somebody who is not going to meet every single condition that we have. He gives us a person who is not going to meet every need that we have. And it teaches us how to love unconditionally. It also teaches us to work and be more patient and be more understanding, but it also teaches us how to die to ourselves as well, die to our unforgiveness, die to our pride. So I feel as though, I think it's important. I'm not gonna say I feel as though I know. It's important for you to be rooted in Christ, for one, because that's where you're going to get everything from. You're going to get that unconditional love, and you're going to get Christ who can meet every single one of your conditions. But if you start leaning and looking over the fence for that 20%, it's going to hurt you later on in the long run, because you had somebody who God put in your life for a reason to teach you something, and you wanted to run away from the lesson. But that's a biblical standpoint.
How funny is it to be complaining to your partner about the 20% they're not giving you, and you only giving them 50? You only giving them 40. How egotistical do you have to believe that you are 100% satisfying them as well?
Come on.
We both are humans. We both have flaws. We both fall short. And that's the point of that commitment. It is loving the wholeness of a person.
They literally said what I was saying. They literally was saying what I was saying. Two things that stuck out to me in that video was two words. Getting rid of unforgiveness, right? She said dying to unforgiveness, which means, you know, that unforgiveness spirit of you not forgiving your partner, not forgiving your spouse. A lot of us do that. A lot of us don't do that. A lot of us don't get rid of the unforgiveness. And that goes for men and women. You know, a lot of times marriages go through a lot of hardship because the man won't forgive the woman for something she did, or the woman don't forgive the man for something he did. Y'all could still have an argument about something that happened 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, however long ago. You're still holding on to what they did at that time. And because of what they did, there's a whole resentment in the marriage. And that could cause a lot of problems, because now you're operating in the spirit of unforgiveness, and you're looking at your spouse in a certain type of way. That goes for the men and women. When you forgive them for what they did, you let it go. You let it go. And when you let it go, y'all could pretty much start all over again. One thing about a marriage is it's a lot of starting all over again, right? But now in 2026, there's no starting all over again for these women. They saying, forget start all over again, I'm out. That's what they say. They say, forget starting all over again, I'm out. You know? Only to find out that the grass ain't greener on the other side like they thought it would be. A lot of them leave because they think the grass is greener on the other side. And then they find out that it's really not. You know? Fellas, let me tell you this. If a woman is divorcing you and she's saying she wants to leave, bro, it's really nothing you could do to stop her from leaving. It's nothing you could do to stop her from leaving. Because once she is focused on her plans, like, okay, when a woman leaves, right? She is now emotionally, you can't stop her from leaving because she's now emotionally attached to that fantasy. She's emotionally attached to the fantasy of life without you. That's what she's emotionally attached to. So it's nothing you could do once she's emotionally attached to how she thinks life is going to be without you. It's nothing you could do to get her back emotionally attached to you. You're old news. She's looking over the fence. Right? So the more you try to make it work and all that, the more it's not going to work because she's already, like I said, she's already emotionally attached to life without you. Right? And the thing is, like I said, most men, we understand. We understand that our spouse isn't perfect. Right? I think I want to do a show on this. And I'm going to ask y'all a question. Do women have the capability to unconditionally love their husband? The only thing we see they really unconditionally love, and that's even in question, but the only thing they unconditionally love is their children. That's the only thing they unconditionally love is the children. But do they unconditionally love a man? Are women capable of unconditionally loving a man? I'm really trying to think. Because when men come into a marriage, it's crazy because that's what we want. We want unconditional love. We want to even give unconditional love. We don't know what that feels like, except for, we got it from my mom. But like I said, even that's question because growing up in the times we grew up in, dang, sometimes we thought our mom hated us the way the way our moms used to do us and beat us, But, is that even I don't even know, man. But the reason I asked that question was because that is another key to marriage, right? That goes with the forgiveness, that goes with communication, that goes with loyalty, respect. That goes with all that, right? And the thing is, a key to a healthy marriage is unconditional love mutually. Like I said, respect is mutual in the last video. There has to be mutual, unconditional love. And love is an action verb. Love is an action verb. It's not just a noun, right? It's not just a verb, noun, verb, whatever. It's not just a thing. Love isn't just a thing. It's a verb, which means you have to put action into it. You got to put effort into love. That's how you're going to love. That's how you're going to unconditionally love is you put action into love. You make the love work in marriages and all that. You got to make yourself love your significant other, even when you may not like him at times, or you may not like her at times. You got to make yourself love them sometimes. There's times when you got to literally make yourself love them. Because a lot of times they're going to get on your nerves. It's going to be a lot of times you want to leave them. Right? But when you walk down that aisle and you get in front of that pastor and you make that covenant under God, you are now obligated to keep that commitment. Once you break that covenant, or once you say you want to divorce that covenant, read the Bible, people. it says God hates divorces. And there is a penalty that you got to pay. That's the one thing women they don't even respect God, for real. Because they'll be quick to break up a marriage, even though they made a promise to God. They will say, forget the promise I made to you, God. They'll say, yo, God, I can't stand this dude right here. I know I made a promise to you, God, but I can't stand him. I'm out. But yeah, go ahead and roll the next clip, man.
The goal was never a perfect marriage. It's two imperfect people who keeps choosing to stay and grow. And this is what the fairy tales never told us. We grow up thinking the right person means it's easy, it's gonna flow, and you never struggle. So the first time it gets hard, people panic and think they picked wrong. No, hard doesn't mean wrong. Every marriage that lasts went through a season that could have ended it all. The difference between the couples who make it and the ones who don't isn't that one had less problems. It's that one refuses to walk away in the middle of them. I've been married 22 years, and I promise you, it was not 22 years of perfect. It was two flawed people waking up, choosing each other over and over again, especially on the days that we didn't feel like it. That's the secret nobody posts. Love is not a feeling you fall into. It's a decision you keep making. So stop looking for that perfect person. Find the one you're willing to be imperfect with and grow. That's the whole thing.
She cooked. And she literally said everything that I said. She literally said everything that she made my point better than I could have made it. Right? Like I said, love is a verb. It's an action word. It's a decision. Right? And marriage is with two imperfect people coming together and deciding that they want to be together for the rest of their lives. The problem is a lot of y'all women, y'all expect y'all husband to be perfect. Y'all don't even really take into account that maybe your husband is imperfect. You judge him based off of his imperfections. And then you think that you perfect. You think you perfect, and you think he's dealing with a perfect woman, but then you turn around and judge him for his imperfections. Right? Another thing she said, growing together. That means growing in every aspect of life together. When you get married, what does the Bible say about marriage? It says the two come together and become one. Right? That's what the Bible says. It says, leave your father and your mother and cleave to your husband, and the two become one. That's another thing. We're going to have a show about that because a lot of y'all don't let go of y'all mothers. And y'all mothers be a problem for a lot of the husbands. Right? And you don't even know that the reason why your mother can't stand your husband, I ain't even going to get into that. Let me just be quiet with that. But back to growing. Growing means every aspect of life. If y'all not growing together, y'all ain't going to work out. Because marriage is about growing together. Right? In every aspect of life. Spiritually, financially, mentally, even physically, not growing big, but growing healthy. If I miss something, let me know if I miss something. Because like I said, everything I speak on is my opinions and all that. I'm not an expert or nothing. I'm just, speaking my mind. Speaking my wisdom, knowledge, and understanding that I have received. And I'm sharing it with y'all to bring value and bring solutions. Right? So growing financially is building financial and generational wealth for the family, whether that be doing investments together, starting a business together, climbing the corporate ladder together. He help you, you help him, right? Because a lot of the times when a lot of us get together, sometimes the man may not be financially stable right off the bat. He may come in, a lot of times they say that the college graduates divorce more than the people that didn't go to college, right? So a lot of the marriages, I'm not talking about the college graduate because I wasn't a college graduate, So the regular, the ones that didn't graduate from college and all that, who are on an entry level position or a blue collar worker, he may be blue collar, she may be into telecommunications, hospitality, whatever, I'm not going to say lower level, sometimes it's mid level, lower level, whatever the case may be, right? You may not be financially stable right off the top. Y'all may go into a marriage where y'all may be struggling in the beginning, right? But no one wants to struggle the whole time, right? So y'all should be figuring out a plan together to grow financially. Y'all should be working together as a unit, as a team to grow financially. He should be able to work with you. A lot of times a man wants to be able to have the best life for his family. A lot of men, we want to give the life to our kids that we never had. So when we meet our significant other, when we meet our wife, we want to make that happen. And a lot of times we want to make it happen with our significant other. You know what a lot of men's dream is? A lot of men's dream, a lot of things a man wants from a marriage is a woman he could build with. That's what we want. We want a woman we could build our empire with, right there by our side. So then when we get to the top of the mountaintop, when we get to the throne, we got our queen on the throne that we built with. And that we feel like that gives us a stronger relationship because we got it out the mud together. So when we get out the mud and we at the top, we happy because we done build and we done been through the struggles together. That builds a closer bond. That's what we want. But unfortunately, a lot of y'all we can't build with. And you know why we can't build with y'all? Because y'all don't listen. Y'all don't listen. Tell me I'm lying. Tell me I'm lying, ladies, that y'all don't listen. Right? So how's a man supposed to build with you if you don't listen and you don't follow his direction, his what he's trying to make happen? How can he work with you if he's arguing with you? How can he work with you if you're not respecting his leadership? How can y'all build together if you don't even follow his lead? How can you build? How can a man build with somebody who doesn't follow his lead? Simple concepts of building, simple concepts of battle. If there is one weak link in the chain will break. Right? So this man is trying to build a future with you, build wealth with you. And because he's having a hard time working with you, it's not happening. It's not happening. But then when y'all stay in the same situation and don't grow, right? Because a lot of times that same growth that I'm talking about, the mentally, the spiritually, the physically, none of that happens. None of that happens. And then y'all end up married for years, and then y'all in the same place. Y'all might end up worse than what y'all was. Y'all going backwards instead of going forward. It goes back to the verse video I said. You know? And then, you know, y'all know. Y'all know. Don't get mad at, hey. And then a lot of times y'all be like, oh, but what about him though? Why don't he do it on his own? Why don't he do it by himself? Da 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 da. If that was the case, he wouldn't have married you. What you mean? If he wanted to do it by himself, he wouldn't have married you. He would have stayed out and did it. I'm gonna use myself as an example, right? I was already on my way to success. I was already on my way to accomplishing my dreams, right? But one thing I told myself was, I said, I want to meet my wife before I get there. Because I said, if I get there, because I was seeing the way the world was going, right? And it's like that in 2026, exactly what I'm talking about. I said, when I get there, I want to make sure that that woman is there for me and not there for my money. So therefore, I want to find someone I could build this with, who's going to be there by my side and be my rider, and we build together and we get to the top together. That's how much I believed in myself in making it. Right? So I thought I had found someone I could build with, and I tried to do it. And it ended up not working out. You know? So, you know, it's all right, you know, because men, we figure it out and then we build again. This brings me to the next video. We're going to watch this video and then we're going to wrap it up.
So how much did my divorce cost me? Well, this is a fantastic question. There's direct and there's indirect costs. Direct costs, I lost $106,000 out of my 401k retirement plan I spent 20 years contributing to. I also lost half the equity in the home, stocks, bonds, mutual funds, cash, and savings that I also spent 20 years contributing to. I also lost half of all the non-liquid assets like furniture, household goods, electronics, cars. Keep in mind, I paid for all of these. And this is in addition to financially supporting her and her/our daughter for 17 years, which is many hundreds of thousands of dollars. I'm now broke, live in a 2-bedroom apartment, and have a negative net worth for the first time since I was, 25. Indirect costs: my job, my sobriety, my self-worth, my masculinity, my hope for the future, my ability to trust women again, my belief in God, my pride, my motivation, my physical health. I don't know, let's just say everything.
Dang. Woo. I thought my situation was bad. Dang. Whew. Hey, someone check up on him, man. Stay close to him. Because he's one of those cases I talked about in my first video where, you know, the self-deletion thing, it seemed like he on the verge of that, man. Someone, you know, keep him in prayer. Y'all watch him, you know, keep a watch out on him. But one thing I can say, though, all that complaining and that pity party and all that, bro, just take that L and keep it moving. And this goes to all of us that's going through that. I'm going through that myself right now. Take that L and keep it moving. You know, chalk it up to the game. You know, there's wins and losses. We take the L's and we keep it moving. You know what I mean? If she gave up your last name, look at it like this. If you give up my last name, then you wasn't worthy of it. If you forfeit my last name, you wasn't worthy of it. That's the way you should look at it. Now you got another opportunity to give your last name to somebody who will appreciate it and somebody who will value it. Because if she got rid of it, she clearly didn't value your last name. Right? So she didn't deserve it. Find somebody who's going to appreciate it, my boy. Stop sitting over there crying and all that, getting a pity party and all that, and figure it out. And that goes for all of us. That goes for even me, myself. You know what I mean? A lot of the stuff he was saying, man, bro, you lost your masculinity. You lost your trust in, you lost your relation. What did he say? He lost his belief in God? Like, bro, how bad was it? From what you saying, you starting to show me why she left you, my boy. A lot of us lose that, bro. A lot of us lose our nuts in these marriages, bro. And that's what it seemed like he lost. He lost his nuts, my boy. And women don't respect that. I mean, I get it. I get it. A lot of us lose ourselves within the joints. Like, you came into the marriage when you first got married and all that. You was him, right? And then slowly but surely, you start to lose yourself, and then you end up. I was just at a play place with my kids last week. I took my kids to a play place. I tried to take them to the regular playground, but you know, we live in Florida, so you know how the weather be out here. So I had the idea to take us to an indoor playground. Excuse me. So we went to a play place, right? It was a big play place. So while we're in there, it's a whole bunch of families and all that. And one thing that I seen was a lot of the husbands in there was out of shape, had dad bods, pushing the stroller, bummy too. It was one other husband that was in shape and he looked like he took care of himself. Just one husband. The rest of the husbands out of shape, cargo pants, raggedy graphic t-shirt with some flip-flops on, dad bod. And I'm not even just talking about black men. I'm talking about all the, white men that I seen up in there. So, bro, if she leaves you, that gives you an opportunity to get that back. Just look at it like that. You got an opportunity to get what you lost back. A lot of times in these marriages, men lose ourselves. We lose who he was before we got married. Now that she left, you get to get that back. You get to get that back. On top of that, she gave you an opportunity to find someone who's going to appreciate you, who's going to appreciate your last name and not give up your last name. It's another opportunity to start all over again. So take that L. I understand it hurts and all that. I understand you're going to have to pay more. Like me, I got to pay more now. My bills is higher now, right? So now I got to figure out how to make more money. At first, I was like him at first. Not really all the way like him, but I was complaining to myself, though, not to too many people. I was looking like I had it together, but on the inside, I'm like, yo, what am I going to do type thing, right? But when you got to pay more money, the way you look at it is, how can I make more money? When you lose money, you say, how can I get it back? You done made all that money, my boy, so you can make it all again. You lost a lot of money. Shoot, I didn't lose that much. I didn't even have that much. So if you was able to gain that much, now you could get it back. Like, what are you talking about? Hold your nuts, my boy. Grow some nuts back. He talked about he lost his masculinity, lost his belief in God, he said he lost like all the stuff he talking about, boy. You sounding like a bro. Nah. Man up. Man up, my boy. You know what I mean? And that goes for all of us. It's time to man up, even myself. Even myself, bro. I know it's hard out here. Trust me. Trust me. Another thing, he talking about physically and all that. Get your behind back in the gym. When my wife said she was leaving me, I said, "Oh, you leaving, huh? Okay." I just quietly started going back to the gym, preparing myself for this next chapter. Right? As soon as she said she was leaving me, I knew it was nothing I could do about it. So I was like, I might as well get in shape, because I know if I get in shape, it's going to open up so many doors for me, not even with the women. I'm not even thinking about women right now. It's going to open up doors for me for opportunities, right? On top of that, you get your confidence back. You get your masculinity back. Everything you talk about losing, you get your masculinity back when you get in that gym. It builds masculinity, right? It builds your confidence back. You're going to feel good. You're going to have more pep in your step. You're going to get more respect when you step out here in the world and all that. The women is going to, you talk about women? What? I just told y'all what happened to me. I'm not even lying, bro. I was at the grocery store 2 days at the grocery store. I went there to get an energy drink. I'm walking out. This Haitian lady is selling colognes and stuff like that by the door. I'm trying to, first time I walked in, I saw her see me and all that. I heard her trying to talk to me, and I just ignored her and kept on walking. So as I'm coming out, now she's going hard. She's like, hey, like she's going hard, trying to talk to me, give me the looks and all that, looking me up and down, feeling on me and stuff like that. Like, oh, you want this cologne? Da, da, da. Said, no, I'm good. I'm good. No, thank you. Da, da. Trying to walk out the door. And she grabbing me, trying to pull me back in the door. Like, wait, hold on. Like, like she was going hard, bro. I said, nah, I'm good. Like, some of y'all would have took that. Some of you see me, like I'm picky, bro. That wasn't my type. I know some of y'all would have been like, oh, I would have hit that. I would have got a number and then smashed it that night. Nah, not me. And like, them Haitians, you gotta watch out for them Haitians. You're not about to put no roots of voodoo on me and all that. You gotta watch out for them Haitians, my boy. Especially if you put it on them. You put it on the Haitian, boy, she might do some voodoo on your behind. You might want to, what? Nah, I'm good. Shout out to my Haitian, though. I got a couple of Haitian friends. But, she wasn't my type, man. I'm looking for nothing but baddies, and tens. I might do a 9, might do a 8, maybe, but I'm looking for nothing but baddies, man. I got another opportunity to be out here in them streets. I'm picky right now. I ain't gonna settle for less. I don't settle for less. Not no more. You know what I mean? I never did settle for less, for real. But let me stop talking before I say too much, man. I hope this video helped y'all, man. We're gonna keep these videos coming, man. This is my second week on YouTube. This is my second week putting out content. The views is low right now, and you see I only got 14 subscribers. So please be kind enough to go ahead and subscribe to this channel. And one reason why I didn't get a lot of views last week is because today I just noticed that I had my YouTube channel on private. I just noticed so I put all that content out, and I'm like, yo, why am I not getting no views? I understand I'm new. I understand my channel is small, so it's harder for smaller channels to get out there. So I understand that. But I wasn't getting no views. And the reason why I wasn't getting no views is because my page was on private. So I just took it off private, so these first new videos that I'm doing, man, I'm practicing, I'm building as I go. I'm getting better as I go. I'm about to build this background up. We doing all that, man. Getting a new mic. This mic right here is just a temporary mic for now. temporary light for now, temporary setup for now, man. We're going to continue to grow. We're building this plane as we go, man. You're going to see the videos get better and better. You're going to see me get better and better. You're going to see everything get better and better, man. So please like, share, and subscribe. Be kind enough to send donations to the Cash App. I would greatly appreciate it. Much love to everybody, man. Y'all have a blessed night.